I'm tired. So tired. Why am I tired? Because I'm tired of this Penn State scandal. I'm tired of Penn State students being so emotional because they're not perfect. I'm tired of how the media is twisting it to where it's about one person when there are many victims in this. Okay, first of all, Penn State rioted over the firing of Joe Paterno because he didn't tell, because he got fired because he didn't tell the police, right? He didn't tell the police, which he should have done. It was a criminal offense. Somebody caught a former coach in the bathroom anally raping a 10-year-old boy, allegedly raping, I might say, in the bathroom. And no one told the police about it. Now, Joe Paterno might be the most well-known man in Pennsylvania. You mean to tell me that he didn't think to call the police and tell them about this? Why? This sounds no better than when little boys were being touched by priests and it went unnoticed and untalked about for so many years until someone actually brought it up, and then they just brushed that aside because no one talks about it anymore, right? Now, if you're going to riot, at least riot for something good. You know, riot for, I don't know, lower school tuitions, more activities on campus, better financial aid packages, you know, better food for the cafeteria and whatnot. Because I know at my school I'm about to riot because they charging $6 for a plate of rice. You know, that's something you should riot about. But to riot because they fired the man? And then I read an article from an independent news source, because you can't trust CNN and all these other Fox News. Damn knows you can't trust Fox News. But how there was a guy at the Penn State game out front who had a sign up that talked about how, why is everyone talking about the football program and Joe Paterno when they should be talking about the victims? Basically, to paraphrase the whole sign. And people were cursing him out, throwing beer at him, trash talking him, spitting on him, all this kind of stuff. What kind of, makes me want to think, what kind of people go to Penn State? You know? Now, I know I got some Penn State friends who might feel a certain way about this video, but that's cool, because if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have an opinion on it as well. If it was USC, Stanford, Drexel, Cornell, Columbia. Excuse me. But it's just opinions, you know. Don't feel offended or a certain way about it. At the end of the day, this whole scandal, this whole allegations and whatnot about this coach, it boils down to the victims and how no one is properly explaining and talking about how this affects the victims. It's here and there, but people are making it all about Joe Paterno when it's really not. And if you feel that way, then maybe you should reevaluate your life, because honestly, if it was one of your friends who got molested, you would actually feel a certain way and want to get to the bottom of it. But once again, when it comes to college sports, money is the factor. And when it comes to college football, money is definitely the factor. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, ESPN wrote that Joe Paterno said he would rather retire at the end of the year than come down and retire on the spot. Why? Because of the money, because of the tradition, and because they know that Joe Paterno puts eyes on the screen and puts people in the seats. I mean, it's that simple. When you've been there for almost 65 years, you kind of become the face of the program, and you become an icon. And from people dismissing Chris Brown for beating on Rihanna's face, or however you want to put it, people tend to let things slide when you're a celebrity or when you're an icon, because we get so caught up in the glorification of our celebrities that we allow things to happen, such as Lindsay Lohan going to jail for 4 hours when she was supposed to go for 30 days, you know? Because it's cool. And we can do that. Society as a whole needs to check itself. Because this is not cool. I have a cold. This is not cool at all, though. It is not cool. And the students of Penn State need to actually look at themselves and ask themselves as a whole, or actually individually, why did I riot and why do I care? What happens if this was me that got molested? Would I want a bunch of kids rioting for the person who did nothing about it? Ask yourself that question and then come to me with a straight mind if you comment on this video and say, yeah, you're right, or yeah, you're wrong. Either which way, I don't care. Unless it happens to me, which is usually how people treat situations like this. And that's a sad fact. But anyway, it's your boy King Malcolm. Follow me at Twitter excuse me. Follow me on Twitter at _King Malcolm. And the rest is history.